The Chicago Bears draft center Doug Kramer from My Fighting Illini with the 207th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears draft update video. There's going to be a lot of these. I'm almost done with them. Only 2 more after this. But if you guys want to see all my reactions, definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. But in this video, I'll be breaking down Illinois center Doug Kramer and how he fits on the Chicago Bears. When I first saw this pick, I was really excited, partly because I'm biased. I'm an Illinois football fan, and this guy actually went to college the same time that I did. Okay, he was a freshman the same year I was a freshman. He went to college for 5 years. I was at U of I for 4 years. So, you know, pretty cool to see a local guy. He also went to Hinsdale, or he's from Hinsdale. So, you know, local kid, grew up being a diehard Bears fan. He wanted to be a Bear, you know, growing up. And it's pretty cool to see a local kid get his dreams realized and get a call to be on his hometown team. And watching Doug Kramer over the past, 5 years at Illinois, I know this is a very tough guy, a very smart guy, very instinctive guy, and also a born leader as well. This guy was a fantastic leader during his time at Illinois. And especially last year, we went through some hard times during the middle of the season. Our head coach actually called out the entire offensive line publicly after a particularly bad performance. I forgot who it was against, but I remember that Doug Kramer, specifically stepped up after that game, and our offensive line, looked a lot better the rest of the season. So let me talk about Doug Kramer's measurables first of all. So he's 6'2", weighs 305 pounds, so definitely undersized probably for the NFL. He's definitely on the shorter side, the smaller side, but that's probably why he's going to be a center at the next level. I don't know if he's going to be a starting center, maybe a backup center, but probably playing on the interior at center with, how small he is. But I don't think the size defines him, right? Because his tape was really good in Illinois. And if you look at his other athletic tests, he was very, athletic overall. His 40-yard dash time was elite, one of the best in the entire class. His explosion, his agility was pretty good as well. So we're getting another very athletic offensive lineman, a guy that can move down the field, a guy that can, go to the second level, a guy that can move laterally as well. I mean, Illinois used him moving very frequently. Okay, our offensive line was moving a lot because we had a lot. I mean, we didn't have a good quarterback last year, obviously, right? So we needed our offensive line to move and, be able to block runs pretty well. We actually had a lot of running going on in Illinois last year. One of the better running attacks actually in the country last year. So fantastic run blocker overall. Great pass blocker too. I mean, he allowed 0 sacks last year and only 3 hurries and 388 pass blocking snaps. I know Illinois didn't pass the football too much, but when we did, he was pretty reliable in pass protection, probably one of our more reliable pass protecting offensive linemen. So overall, his tape is just really good at Illinois, guys. The only reason why he fell this far and the reason why he might not be a starter right away at the NFL is his size. Okay, he's definitely undersized. He's definitely small, and it remains to be seen if he can, perform well against NFL level defensive linemen. But the smarts are there, the instincts are there, the ability to move is there. His technique is also a lot more refined because he spent 5 years in college. Okay, it's way more refined than the other more raw offensive line prospects we drafted earlier. Now, obviously, he's not as, physically imposing as those guys, but, sometimes even the smaller guys can succeed in the NFL. It depends on a variety of different factors, and Doug Kramer does have all the intangibles. One pretty cool stat that I saw from PFF, so PFF gave Kramer the 3rd best true pass set blocking grade among all centers from Power 5 conferences from 2018 to 2019. And then as you guys saw last year, he allowed 0 sacks and only 3 hurries. So even though I might be biased being an Illinois fan, I think this is a pretty good pick for the Chicago Bears. Okay, it could turn into maybe someday a starting level center. I don't know if he's big enough to play in the NFL, but the traits were there in college. The tape was there in college. He's very smart, very instinctive, and best of all, he's a local guy. Okay, he loves the Bears. He's always loved the Bears, and hopefully he can be a valuable piece on the Bears offensive line. This upcoming season, I think he will be the backup behind Lucas Patrick, but who knows? Okay, if there's injuries, if there's if he does good in camp, then maybe he could be appearing in some games this year because he's that level of of a refined prospect in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think about this pick in the comments down below. But as always, bear down.